This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my video predicting the order of the Andor arcs. And we see, well, we know there's going to be 4 of them, and with them, each of them will cover events of 1 year. So there are some inferences we can make to the order this will happen in. So it is time to go and figure the order out, and I'm going to set this as the thumbnail. This is going to be a more randomized mixture of these 4 arcs, but I'm going to move these images around to see what the actual order of these is going to be. So just for clarification, from my best guesses is the arcs will be something happening on Coruscant, which is depicted in the top left corner currently. Cassian stealing the entire prototype, which is shown in the top right. And then there's going to be the events that lead into Rogue One, which is, I'm assuming what's going to be happening when he's sent on a mission on Yavin, which is in the bottom left. And the final is going to be the Gorman Massacre, which is in the bottom right. And although some people are saying, yeah, we don't know it's the Gorman Massacre yet, in one of the new trailers that was released that I just didn't get a chance to talk about because I was too busy, it does say that people are singing in gore, so we know that planet is definitely a planet of gore, and we'll be seeing the Gorman Massacre this season. So let's go and figure out what order these will be taking place in, with one I could say with 100% certainty of when it will take place. And the first one we could guarantee the spot of is the Gorman Massacre, which has to take place in 2BBY, which would be the third arc of the season. And the reason we know that is because immediately after the Gorman Massacre, Mon Mothma speaks out against the Emperor specifically on this, and she is taken to the Ghost Crew. So we know that the Gorman Massacre takes place in 2BBY, and know that this arc has to take place as the third arc overall, since that'll be 2 years before the Battle of Yavin, and the one that's at a year to really just technically a few days before is the other arc that I moved to the other spot, which is the one where Cassian is sent on whatever events lead up to the events of Rogue One. And I didn't even think of it when I put these pictures in. I just kind of randomly put them in and didn't realize the top 2 would be the first 2 and the bottom 2 would be the bottom 2. And I'm too far into the recording to want to go back and change it. So looking at this, we now have basically our confirmation of what the fourth arc is. Not exactly, but we know that it's most obvious one is going to be the ones that leads to Rogue One. We don't know too much of what happens because it looks like everything we see is from the first 3 arcs. And looking at those other 2, I just realized that this is most likely going to be the order because I wasn't even thinking about it. I just said I just randomly tossed these in, but I feel like the Coruscant arc is most likely going to be about Luthen being exposed and them having to destroy a shop and get Luthen off-world. And I feel like that happening in the arc just before Mon Mothma goes and also exposes herself and has to be rescued from Coruscant will feel a little repetitive to happen in 2 episodes, all 2 arcs in a row. So I feel like having them split apart by different storyline would make sense. And if the planet that Cassian goes to is Dantooine, then I think it would also make sense to have the abandoning of that rebel base be shown, and I feel like that would have been a little closer to the events of A New Hope than really anything else, because it doesn't feel like Yavin's really set up, I think at least in the current continuity, until around the point of the Gorman Massacre, so I'm assuming Dantooine is one of those rebel cell bases, although I'm not really sure if it would be because the Empire doesn't know about it, so that's the one thing that could be against it, so I'm not really sure. But the basics of this is, I think, the first one, which will be the stuff on Coruscant. We will see Luthen be exposed somehow for being Axis and see his escape. We'll see Cassian destroy his shop and help Cassian off-world. This actually won't be the one where Cassian's dressed up nicely because I saw that it's basically the same outfit he's wearing to the Gorman Massacre, so I'll talk more about that in just a moment. I think it's also going to see that party that Krennic attends with Mon Mothma and Perrin. The next arc is going to be Cassian going and stealing that TIE prototype, potentially helping his, well, all the people on Dantooine, including um, the people from Ferrix, where they may be located there, although it might not be Dantooine, so it might be just another different planet. Moving on to what else is happening in this, I think there's also gonna be Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding that happens in this, because I feel like it happening during the Gorman Massacre is just gonna be a little too much happening at the same time. Now moving on to the third arc, I think here we're going to definitely see the Gorman Massacre, and that's gonna be almost the complete focus of everything going on. And the final one is whatever leads into Rogue One, and that's going to see more of Krennic. And I feel like Krennic's going to be in that first and final arc just to kind of go and build things up. I also think the Gorman Massacre is where Cassian is going to acquire K2, and we're going to most likely see B2 be destroyed during that, and his personality uploaded into K2 to override that and turn K2 into the character we all know and love, since he has that really special connection to Cassian. But yeah, honestly, that's really my predictions for sort of the order of the Andor season 2 arcs and more or less the basics of what's going to happen in them. But yeah, honestly, really excited for this show, and I want to know what you think. Please leave me in the comments, and until next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.